I'd like to introduce our next speaker, Mr. Luke Croy, Manager Project Evaluation at Agnico Eagle Mines Limited. Luke has more than 20 years' experience in the mining industry and is currently the Manager of Project Evaluations for Agnico. He is an RMIT Geological Engineering graduate who began his career with Mount Isa Mines before joining Fosterville Gold Mine. His career began in technical geology and engineering roles, progressed into operations and management positions, and is now entering the business and corporate space. In addition to his time working in the mining industry in Australia, Luke spent 3 years working at Agnico Eagle's operations in Ontario, Canada, managing the highest grade gold mine in the world at Macassa and the largest gold mine in Canada, Detour Lake. Luke is proud to be associated with the Fosterville Gold Mine and Agnico Eagle Mines and is looking forward to updating you all on the sites and company's progress since last year. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Luke.
Thanks, Reg, for the introduction, and I thank each of you for your time today. Hello. Firstly, I'd like to recognise that my home and family are located on Dja Dja Wurrung country in Victoria, and I'd also like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the country where we're meeting today, and elders past, present and future. Before I begin, please note that the presentation is based on some forward-looking concepts and statements as outlined in the slide package and available for review. Please note that all dollars are mentioned US unless otherwise stated, and additional MRMR slides are at the end of the slide deck. Today's agenda is a recognition of the impressive performance that has been delivered by the Agnico Eagle business and operations over the past 12 months, plus an opportunity to discuss the local assets. Our CEO, Amar El-Jundi, recently noted that Agnico has a reputation as being the sleep well at night gold stock. Comfortingly, the company continues to be a high quality, reliable and consistent gold stock with superior leverage to gold in low risk jurisdictions and continues to deliver in the face of adversity. In the last quarter, this adversity came from forest fires in Northern Ontario and Quebec, affecting production at local sites. We all saw the smoke in Toronto and New York on the TV. Imagine that in your ventilation shafts. Plus the earliest and longest caribou migration our operations in Nunavut have experienced, which is a great result for caribou herd strength and a demonstration of the resilience of the operations that continue to deliver. As you can see from the graphic, Agnico continues to operate in 4 countries, Canada, Australia, Finland and Mexico. We're the 3rd largest gold producer globally, delivering the first half at the upper end of production guidance and lower end of cost guidance. Agnico continued to build on our reserve base of 49 million ounces and our resource base of 44 million ounces, measured and indicated. Notably, there are 16,000 people behind me in the organisation doing great things. Overall, the Agnico strategy is simple, and that is to operate with leading positions in the best mining jurisdictions in the world that facilitate multiple mines for multiple decades. By nature, these demonstrate geologic potential and political stability. Demonstrated technical skills, delivering operational performance and challenging projects. We focus on per share metrics with superior gold production, cash flow and earnings per share. We have the highest ESG standards with a key enabler to longevity being our partnerships with community. We return capital to shareholders, having 39 years of continuous dividends since 1983, and we have disciplined capital reinvestment based on knowledge and diligence. Finally, we focus on value through the drill bit. Our near mine pipeline continues to deliver value through the drill bit. Our exploration results are proximal to existing infrastructure with low permitting risk. Agnico is spending over $300 million this year on exploration. The Agnico Eagle business continues from strength to strength, integrating new assets and delivering on pipeline and production metrics. The last 18 years has seen the company grow from a single asset stock in 2005 through a period of building 5 mines in 5 years. Agnico then added the Canadian Malartic joint venture to the portfolio, plus the Mexican assets. Then the company built mines in the Arctic. This was all before the major consolidation of the Abitibi gold belt, bringing the Kirkland Lake gold assets into the group and essentially doubling the size of the company. Now, in the last 12 months, we have completed the transaction with Teck Resources on the San Nicolas joint venture in Mexico. Plus, we completed another with Pan American Silver on the Yamana Gold acquisition, which netted the company the 100% of the Canadian Malartic mine. Here we demonstrate the theme of partner of choice. with both of these transactions enabled through positive relationships and arrangements with trusted partners. Now the business is focusing on leveraging the organic pipeline presented by the quality assets in the portfolio. In the Abitibi Gold Belt, the company has 5 operating gold mines, including 2 of the largest 10 gold mines in the world, producing approximately 2 million ounces from the belt. We also have 2 advanced exploration projects and large land packages on the main gold-bearing regional structures. The land packages controlled here span a distance of approximately 200 kilometres, with key infrastructure, including rail links, in position. So that's the distance Norseman to Kalgoorlie. I've lived and worked alongside our Canadian personnel in the Abitibi and am personally impressed with the operating teams and the high level of integrated support afforded by the technical excellence hubs that the company has established along the belt. Negative 50 degrees in the middle of night shift with blustery snow is a different sort of challenge to master, there's no doubt. Now, highlighting the Agnico assets in the Abitibi, we can see an example of the organic growth and value drivers with Detour Lake Mine, the Canadian Malartic Complex, and some advanced stage regional projects. Interestingly, the Abitibi has produced over 190 million ounces of gold since being mined over the past 120 years, clearly an address for prolific gold ore bodies. Okay, Detour. The mine is currently delivering over 700,000 ounces per annum and is on a trajectory towards an envisioned 1 million ounces per annum. Business improvements including optimising the mill and evaluating options to exploit the ore bodies at depth through underground mining. The site has already generated an almost 20% improvement on mill throughput to approximately 27 million tonnes per annum, on its way to 28 million tonnes in 2025 or before, with a vision of 30 plus million tonnes per annum. Drilling at depth confirms the shallowly plunging ore body continues over 2 kilometres along strike from the current pit design. The company has continued its disciplined approach to capital investment by allocating further funds there to define that potential. The mine life currently extends for over 25 years, and that pit plans to be 5.5 kilometres long by 600 metres deep, so it's a big hole. At Canadian Malartic, following the acquisition of the remaining 50% of the assets from Yamana, Agnico recently announced that the 17 million ounces underground resource continues to generate positive economic outcomes as we progress through the economic studies. This provides further confidence in the return on investment of the 1.8 kilometre deep by 6.5 metre diameter shaft being constructed there. Earlier this year, Agnico announced the final piece in a land puzzle had been acquired, finalising a contiguous belt of approximately 16 kilometres along the prolific Cardillac-Larder Fault that includes numerous past-producing assets and clear exploration targets, thus providing a vast pipeline for growth. This works hand in hand with the company's opportunity that the transition to underground at Canadian Malartic generates the gold while consuming only a third of the mill capacity, leaving 40,000 tonnes a day available for nearby operations to benefit from the economy of scale presented. A potential increase in production of 200,000 ounces per annum is targeted from the local operations. Interestingly, Canadian Malartic was discovered in 1923 by the Gouldy brothers and is operating some 100 years later. Finally, Agnico has several advanced stage projects under evaluation. Wasamac and Upper Beaver have the potential to add another 150 to 200,000 ounces each to the Abitibi district, and the amalgamated Kirkland could provide another 40,000 ounces per annum, all on top of the Macassan mill that is achieving record throughput as reported in Q2. The Kirkland Lake ore bodies were discovered in 1911. Regardless of what region we operate in, we strive to be a partner of choice. We earn that through our commitment to fostering positive and collaborative relationships with the local communities. Some highlights include our dedication to equality and diversity as typified by the 2-year mentoring and development program for Agnico women in mining and by our continued improvement to our Indigenous workforce participation rate. We are recognised leaders in environmental performance with some of the lowest energy intensity and greenhouse gas emissions in the mining industry. We have outlined our pathway to a 30% reduction of Scope 1 and Scope 2 emissions by 2030. We also recycle 78% of water used in operations to minimise our freshwater usage per ounce. The headline takeaway from our strong Q2 operating results is the company's continued advancement from strength to strength, record quarterly production of 873,000 ounces with a robust balance sheet primed for disciplined application. Our first half production results were completed hand in hand with the best safety performance in Agnico Eagle's more than 65-year history, a testament to the company's dedication to safe productivity. We can see the other key highlights in line with the growth priorities for the company, including record mill throughput at several operations in the Abitibi district. Now we focus closer to home on Agnico's Australian assets. Again, we are proud of our partnership with community. Here we see a W-class tram that was launched last week after refurbishment. This initiative forms part of the Agnico Eagle Social Responsibility Program, supporting the restoration and improvement of our local cultural heritage. Beyond this, the long-standing Fosterville Community Grants Program has supported 260 community groups and organisations. More recently, the Agnico Eagle Community Partnership Program has established 29 partnerships, with 2022 support being some $3 million. This includes support to vulnerable groups, including sponsoring a food share program in Bendigo and holding food drive collections. At Fosterville, Agnico Eagle has a solid economic footprint, and we continue to be focused on investing in and growing our Australian business. The Fosterville Gold Mine is proud of our approximately 800 people, employees and contractors, with 85% of those being hired from the local regions. The site poured its 4 millionth ounce in March this year, since the sulphide project commenced in 2005. We're the largest gold mine in Victoria and are currently mining to a depth around 1.4 kilometres. Our positive impact extends beyond the site and the local community. In the fourth quarter of 2022, the Fosterville mine responded to the Victorian State Emergency Service request for assistance when continuous heavy rainfall flooded regional communities. The Fosterville Emergency Response Team and other Fosterville employees volunteered to provide relief efforts to help the community recover from the devastation. On this slide, we can see the excellent metrics continue to be delivered by the strong Fosterville team over Q2 and highlights from the past 12 months. Last quarter, Fosterville produced 82,000 ounces, contributing to over 168,000 ounces produced in the first half of the year, all at an outstanding first half total cash cost of $416 an ounce. Key points from the past 12 months include 2022 production of 383,000 ounces at a cash cost of $378 an ounce. In May this year, the Victorian EPA also lifted the prohibition notice on Fosterville with respect to low-frequency noise. The mine returned to full operating hours, with the additional resources focused on advancing mine development and upgrading the primary ventilation system. Fosterville continues to generate significant cash flow, and with the disciplined investment of capital, the site continues to hunt for the next Swan Zone. The best summary of Fosterville's potential comes from our West Australian-born VP of Operations, Ian Hand, who notes not many mines have the exploration potential as Fosterville that are generating Australian $1 million of free cash flow each and every day. And he's sure to point out the immediate and rapid effect that the Swan discovery had on Fosterville and the peak annual cash flow it generated before tax of over $1 billion per annum Australian. Here we can see the Fosterville mineralised system, mineralised trend, extends over 10 kilometres. On the right, we can see the increasing complexity with depth that led to the dilational structural traps that resulted in the visible gold-enriched ore zones. We can also see the two main types of mineralisation on site, being the sulphide-hosted refractory mineralisation and the visible gold quartz mineralisation. It is this style that hosts the bonanza grades in the Swan Zone at the hundreds of grams per tonne. In the past 12 months, the extension of the exploration drill drive, on the bottom left of the screen, in the lower Phoenix Swan Zone was completed. Exploration drilling targeting the cardinal structure, which is in the hanging wall of the Swan Zone, resumed in March. Whilst I won't be presenting any new exploration results that haven't already been disclosed to the market, I can say we have 10 rigs on site executing our 100-kilometre drill plan for 2023. Okay, in the lower Phoenix Zone, results from the past 12 months continued along the down plunge extension of the zone. Holes close to the current limit of the mineral resources include 31.5 grams per tonne over 8 metres and 226 grams a tonne over 1.4 metres. The graphic shows on the right the parallel and hanging wall nature of the cardinal lode to the Swan lode and the additional mineralised targets being explored. Footwall and parallel to the Swan is the Signet lode with high-grade visible gold located in similar structural settings to Swan. Evidence that Swan does not occur in isolation, and we are seeing on-echelon repeats, albeit currently at a smaller scale. Infill drilling in the first quarter yielded highlights of 9.8 grams a tonne over 1.9 metres and 16.6 grams a tonne gold over 1.8 metres. Previous drilling had intercepted 174 grams a tonne gold over 2.2 metres in one of those on-echelon repeat lodes. The system remains open for expansion at depth, and remains a key target moving forwards. 4 kilometres north at Robins Hill, there are analogues between the Phoenix-style Swan and Audax ore bodies and new lodes emerging to the north, including the Curie and Wu lodes. Exploration drilling into the Curie fault zone have yielded good results, including a highlight of 13.2 grams a tonne over 4.2 metres. In the down plunge extension of the Robins Hill lode, drill results include 68 grams per tonne over 4.9 metres. The very high gold grades intersected down plunge of the Robins Hill mineral resource are due to the presence of visible gold in quartz vein mineralisation, a style of mineralisation similar to that seen in the Swan Zone. Further investigation during the quarter of the newly discovered Wu splace structure in the hanging wall of Curie Fault yielded a highlight of 8.1 grams a tonne over 7 metres in the middle of the structure, which has been traced over approximately 300 metres in length. Importantly, visible gold is present in the system. Geochem analysis indicates they are the same mineralising fluids that form Swan. We are also seeing similar structural settings akin to the lower Phoenix system. Mineralisation persists on the Curie structure over 3 kilometres and has also been identified footwall and hanging wall to the Curie structure, presenting other growth opportunities. Over to the NT, the rehabilitation project continues at the Cosmo mine site with legacy mine water dam and waste rock dump capture and treatment work completed. The final 5% of the remediation works are anticipated to be completed by the end of next year, with close to $65 million being invested on rehabilitation, all part of Agnico's commitment to ESG and community without any operating mines in the territory. For the mine water dam, on the top right, we've treated 1.5 gigalitres of pH2 water and the dam is now rehabilitated. We've now got buffaloes grazing on the site. Furthermore, we are currently drilling on our mineral tenements around Catherine and Pine Creek, and note the Fraser Institute recently ranked the Northern Territory #1 in their global rankings for prospectivity. In conclusion, Agnico has a proven track record around delivery and growth reinforced by outstanding Q2 performance and results. The company has an impressive organic project pipeline and synergies as exemplified by the opportunities in the Abitibi Gold Belt. Our ESG and safety performance enforces our preferred partner status. In Australia, the team continues to drive value from Fosterville whilst assessing opportunities to fully appreciate the value of our current portfolio. Agnico Eagle continues to be the sleep well at night gold stock. Thank you all again for your time, and I look forward to any questions or catch up with us at the Agnico booth. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks very much, Luke. Again, we're running short on time, so we'll skip the Q&A, but again, if you wanted to go and catch up with the guys, please go and see them in their booth.